In the sun-scorched plains of northern Kenya, where the earth cracked under the weight of drought and the air shimmered with heat, there lived a boy named Teko. His world was dry, forgotten, and harsh. His village had no electricity, no paved roads, no running water, only endless dust stretching across the horizon. Dust that seeped into every corner of life, clinging to homes, clothes, dreams. But Teko was different. While others accepted the dust as a curse, he stared at it with unusual curiosity. While other children played or complained, Teko would sit for hours, asking questions. Why are we so poor when there's so much world out there? Why does no one come here? What if the dust has value? They laughed at him. In school, if you could call it that, he was the odd boy who stared off into the distance, scribbling ideas in the margins of torn notebooks. He wasn't smarter than anyone else, nor more gifted, but he was hungry, not just for food, but for understanding, for growth, for possibility. One afternoon, after a long walk home from school, Teko turned to his friend and said, "One day, I'll turn this dust into gold." The friend laughed for 10 full minutes. Teko's journey wasn't born from a miracle or a lucky break. It began, as many great stories do, in struggle. His father died when he was 9. His mother, a widow with little education, sold firewood at the roadside to feed him and his 2 sisters. Some nights, their dinner was salt water and ugali. Other nights, they simply went to bed. He walked 10 kilometers to school, barefoot. He carried his few school books in a plastic bag to protect them from sandstorms. When there was no chalk in class, the teacher used charcoal. When there was no teacher, the children waited under the acacia tree anyway, hoping someone would come. Still, Teko studied. He passed his final exams with high marks and dreamed of university. He was accepted. But dreams can be expensive, and reality was quick to remind him. There was no money, no sponsors, no rich relatives. He watched his chance at formal education slip through his fingers like the dust he lived in. But failure didn't break him. It sharpened him. He tried selling water bottles, then charcoal, then second-hand shoes. One failure after another. Everyone told him to stop. "Business is for city people," they said. "Success is for those born lucky." Teko heard it all, but inside, a quiet fire burned. One afternoon, everything changed. He was passing by a group of European tourists who had come to see the desert. They were laughing, taking photos, and, strangely, scooping small jars of sand into souvenir bags. He watched in disbelief. Why would anyone want to take dust home? He asked a local guide, "Why are they doing that?" The guide shrugged. "They say it's beautiful. They call it mineral-rich soil." That night, Teko couldn't sleep. Mineral-rich. That word spun in his mind like a seed looking for soil. For weeks, he walked to a small cybercafe 30 kilometers away, spending every coin he had for just 20 minutes of internet time. He read about mineral sands, natural cosmetics, organic scrubs, clay masks. He found that desert soil, his dust, was used in spas, skincare, art, and even architecture in other parts of the world. Could it be? He began experimenting with mixtures. He filtered the finest sand, blended it with local honey and coconut oil. The result was crude, but it worked. His sister's skin glowed. His mother smiled. His first product was born, a natural facial scrub made from the dust everyone hated. He named it Desert Essence. With no capital, no business training, and no one to guide him, Teko went to work. He convinced local potters to create simple jars. He used recycled paper for labels. He took photos with an old borrowed phone and posted them on Instagram. He had 10 followers. Then came the break. A wellness blogger from Europe stumbled on his page. She shared it with her followers, calling it the rawest brand story I've ever seen. Overnight, Teko had 70 international orders. He had no shipping system, no boxes, no bank account, but he had belief. He borrowed a motorcycle and hand-delivered the products to a courier office in Nairobi. The journey took days, but the packages arrived. The customers were amazed, not just by the product, but by the story. The boy from the dust had created something real.